Okay, here we go. Subaru 2005. I replaced a rear wheel bearing a while ago. It was terrible. You could hear that a mile away. It was bad. But when I got this thing, I got it used, the Subaru. It had crappy, decent tread, but the tires weren't that good, so they made a lot of road noise. So once I got some decent tires on it, I could hear some whirring up front. So what I was hearing was that. That's a bad wheel bearing right there. Okay, it's not loose. It'll probably last another 10,000 miles, but when you're going down the road, you hear it. You just start to hear it at different RPMs. So as always, I'll take it apart while it's on the car. It wouldn't be too bad to take this off. You got to take a couple more things off here and take the whole arm off here, but I'd rather not. So what I did, I jacked up this side, and you want to jack up the other side too, because what happens if you don't jack up the other side, these holes here don't line up too good with these holes here. The sway bar pushes this thing in the upper position. So when you pick up the other side of the car, also get that tire off the ground, that drops this down quite a bit. So, okay, let me put it back together. I got my slide hammer. I'll pop this hub off. Shouldn't be a problem. And then I'll pop the bearing out, and that shouldn't be a problem. But we'll see. You never know with these things. So let me set it up. Okay, I got the slide hammer hooked up. No problem. Now I put these two bolts back in, and I should have mentioned before that before you take the top one out, mark it. This is your camber bolt here, and if you don't want to take your car in for alignment after doing this, mark it. What I did, I put a big old smash there and a smack there, so when I get this thing back together, I can just get those things lined up and I'll be as good as it was before I took it apart. Okay, so I'll get the slide hammer here, and we're taking this hub off right here. It'll probably come out with a race of the bearing, but whatever. So let me set it up. Okay, let's hit it with a slide hammer. This should, again, it should pop out, but you never know. Piece of cake, huh? Now what I did there, I took off this inner seal at the same time. So we get it all back together, we'll have to throw that seal back in there. And you can see what I did here is I just put the nut that comes with the wheel puller. Actually, this is an axle puller, and I just got a washer out of my box and put it in there, and that was big enough to get this thing out. So we'll pull this off in a minute. Not a big deal, I've done it before. So, okay, let me see if I can get the bearing out now. Okay, here we are. What a pain. Now looking at this thing, most bearings pull out from the outside here. This is not one of them. This pulls out from the inside, so I haven't done a Subaru bearing before in the front. The rear wasn't too big of a deal. And one thing to look for is there's always a retaining clip with these any type of these bearings. They don't just rely on a press fit. So on the inside here, there's a retaining clip. Here's a retaining clip. Once you pop that out, then the bearing's going to come out this way. So I'll set my hydraulic puller machine thingy up, and I'll pop that stupid bearing out this way. It should pop right out. So let me set it up. Okay, I got my hydraulic cylinder all set up here, and again, I got the head on the far side, on that side there. So let's see what happens. I need a brake for once. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Like I said, these Subaru bearings aren't too well, I shouldn't say too well. They don't have an overly hard press fit, heavy press fit, so usually they don't pop. And when this one's giving me a pain in the ass, pulling it the other way, I knew something was up. So what was up was it comes out from the inside. Luckily, this contraption I have, that head's pretty small, and I can sneak that in a lot of little places. So anyway, we're cooking with gas here. Okay, I'm bottomed out. I got to get in there and bite at it, but it'll come right out now. Okay, so I'm setting up the hub to push the bearing back in. So again, the bearing's going back in from this way, and what I'll use to finish the bearing off is the old one I pushed, or the old bearing I pushed out. So, but to start it, I have this piece here, and that'll get me started, you know, get the bearing seated. Nice thing is with these, the way the Japanese set these things up, they have a pressed in area, but they have a starter area too. It's a little bigger counterbore than the bearing itself, and that helps get that bearing square to the bore. You know, go straight in there. The worst thing you want to do is when you're doing any kind of press fitting is get the stupid thing crooked like that, and it's just going to be ugly. So they do have a nice counterbore there, and I'll be able to use that and put something behind it to get it to go in probably 3/8 of an inch or so. Then I'll just put this bearing behind the bearing I'm pushing in, and that should be able to be good to go the rest of the way. On this side, I'll just put a flat plate, and I'll put my head over here, and that'll pull it right in. So I got the bearing in the freezer. Let me lube this bore up a little bit. I'll put a little bit of grease on it, and I'll be ready to go. So let me set it up. Now, just a little heads up. This is the bearing I'm putting in. It's cold. If you put it in the freezer, it shrinks a little bit. Everything you can do helps. This bearing, you could put it in either way, it looks like. It doesn't look like it has a direction. Both sides look the same. Here's my pusher I'm going to push it in with. Just, you know, to be clear, you want to push on the outer race. You don't want to push here, you want to push here. So this hole is perfect. It just touches the outer race, doesn't touch the inner at all. If you touch the inner race, you're asking for trouble. So just whatever you make it for the outer race. So let me set it up. Okay, a little messing around here, but the bearing's going in. Okay. What this thing is, this is a piece of PVC. It's just about the right diameter. So before I use the actual bearing, I'm just pushing it as far as I can with this. So I think it's just about, it's got a little further to go. There we go. It's popping its way in there. So I'll just, once I get a little further in, I'll put the actual bearing in there just to finish it off. So let me set it. Okay, this should be the last little video clip. Now I'm putting the hub back on. I pulled it off with my, I guess it's a gear puller. But before you put the hub on, make sure you get that seal in there. And I really screwed up over here. I put the seal on the back side first. So not the worst thing in the world. You just want to push the inner race. You want to push on the inner race when you put this hub in. And now since I put the seal in there, what a nut. I had to actually use the old inner race to push against the other inner race to get everything to go together. Otherwise I'd be pushing on that crazy rubber seal. I don't want to take it out. So anyway, everything should go together pretty well. Slap it back together. Should only take a few minutes. This took me a little longer than I thought because I was trying to take the bearing out the wrong way. What do you guess, you know? But that's why you do stuff. You learn a little bit every time. So hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.